What's going on YouTube? El Topo Logo back at it again with another Dragon Ball Super card game video. Today we have Mr. Andrew Holman, who made top 8 at the TCG-CON Edison event today. How was your weekend, man?
It was pretty good. It was actually my first ever top cut.
Nice.
Actually my first solo event, the only thing I've ever done with Team Wars. So
nice.
Feeling kind of nervous, but it's all good. I felt like I was playing really well.
You killed it. So the people are dying to know, what did you play?
So I played Son Goku GT from the recent set.
Okay.
It's really cool what he does. He's got a really nice auto. When you start the game, you get to start the game with your Unison in play.
Okay.
So right off the bat, you got a Unison in play. You got an auto when you swing. You can put a Saiyan underneath the Unison, and it gains. Actually, doesn't get any markers. We get to draw 2.
Nice.
So we kind of just build the Unison up, and the Unison gets real big, so you get a lot of really cool value off of that. And you kind of just really go super aggressive with it.
Very nice. He's super sticky too. 15K.
Yeah, it's 15K. He can't swing, unfortunately, but that's okay. You know, he's a turn 1 Unison with 15K.
So then, what's the awaken?
You can awaken when the Unison hits 7 markers or more, or when you have 4 or less life. But if you awaken with the alternate, you get to draw 2 cards and take cards from your life up until you have 6 life.
Cool. And then the backside?
Yeah, backside's really cool. It's auto, normal. When you swing, you draw a card. Activate main once per turn for a red. If you don't have a Unison card in play, you can play up to 1 spaceship Unison from your drop area or your hand with a marker on it. Okay. So you're able to get back the Unison if you end up losing it.
Nice.
And then the other ultimate, which doesn't get used all too often, but I caught a couple games today with it. It's an activate main once per turn, Spirit Boost 10. You can play a Goku GT with 8 drop or less and just put it into play.
Nice.
You get some really cool value out of that.
Just slam a card down. Nice.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. All right, let's get into the deck.
Yeah, for sure. So we run 2 copies of the Unison. Okay. One starts off, the other one's in the deck just in case. Right. So yeah, pretty much know what that one does already, but that's got a really cool effect, activate main, where you get to put a Saiyan from your hand underneath the Unison. And it gets up to 3 markers based on the number of cards on the Unison. So it gets really big, really fast. Nice. And then you get to draw a card after you do that. Cool. But the main engine, we start off with our 1-drops. We play 4 copies of Son Goku Adventures Advent. Okay. He just searches the top 5, gets you a Saiyan. Nice. That way you can kind of start filling up your hand and getting all your big pieces. But we do have to make sure that we see 1-drops. So we're going to play 1 copy of Pan Adventures Advent as well. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention on the Goku though. He has an activate main where you can put him under the Unison once per turn and add a marker to the Unison, so it keeps bumping it up. Nice. Pan kind of does something similar. He just it has basically the effect of the Unison where you get to put a Saiyan from your hands underneath the Unison and you get to draw a card and it gets a marker. Nice. So that's just a good way to start the engine. And then for our cards that we want to put under the Unison because we get a lot of value out of it, we start with Super Saiyan Trunks Soaring Through Space. Okay. This guy is nuts. So he's got barrier, 15K. You can play him for 1 as long as you have 1 energy. It gives a battle card minus 10K. But big thing is he's got barrier, and if he's in rest mode, your opponent cannot attack your Unison. So that's always been a big issue. A lot of people will focus the Unison early on. Because if I don't have that Unison, the deck's hard to play. Okay. So he's just crazy. Barrier is just nuts. It's really good. And we also play 3 copies of Trunks Battle on Planet M2. Okay. He's got blocker. You can play him for 1 as long as you got 2 energy. Yeah, he's got a really cool effect. When he comes into play, you can put a Saiyan card from your hand underneath the Unison. Unison gains a marker and you get to draw a card. So you get to keep pumping into the Unison. Nice. And then we play 4 copies of this guy. This guy's really good as well. Super Saiyan Son Goku Soaring Through Space. He'll come into play for 1 energy from underneath the Unison as long as you have 3 energy. Comes in, gives something negative 20K, so it's a good way to eliminate some really big threats on the board, or even just pesky cards like Mass Saiyan and stuff like that that really slow you down. His really cool auto though, when you swing with him, you get to put a Saiyan card from your hand or your drop area underneath your Unison, so we can keep recycling these really cool effects on these other cards. Oh, that's great, yeah. That's value. And then we also run 3 copies of Goku Battle on Planet M2. This card's really cool. It's got critical, which is already really powerful. Comes into play for 1 energy as long as you have 2 energy. And he has a similar effect to that other Trunks Battle on Planet M2 where you to put a Saiyan underneath Unison, add a marker to it, draw a card.
Nice.
Good way to filter through. The deck does a lot of filtering. We want to go wide, so the pan helps us go wide really quickly. Play 3 copies of her. She's got blocker. She comes into play as long as you have 2 energy. She comes into play from under the Unison from Spirit Boost 1, which is really powerful. And she's got a cool effect. We can pay 2 red. And you get to play a Goku and a Trunks with power 15k or less, just for paying the 2 energy. So you got a lot of really cool value. I have 7 different Trunks targets, and I have 7 different Goku targets also, because I can play this guy, or I can even play the 1-drop. So it's really cool to keep refilling stuff.
And she comes in for free?
She comes in just for Spirit Boost 1.
Wow.
So you just take off 1 marker from Spirit Boost.
This card's really good.
Yeah, really powerful. We got our boss monster there, part of this engine. It's the Goku, Trunks, and Pan. These guys are really cool.
Yeah.
I can play that for Spirit Boost 10 with the leader as well, which is really powerful. It doesn't come up too often, but it's sometimes it'll steal a game. But they just come into play for 3, as long as I have 4 more energy. On Spirit Boost 3, I can neg my opponent's board by 30k, and they get to triple attack. And they're a big 30k attacker already too.
Triple attack, so 30, 30, 30.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And it's a board wipe, wow.
So, but yeah, since I have a Unison live, we get a lot of really cool effects as well. I get access to Yamcha really early. Yamcha's just really good pressure, but it also can clear out some threats from my opponent's board. So he's just really good. You really have to say much about Yamcha.
Why Yamcha over Videl?
So Videl doesn't apply pressure. Being that she's only a 10k, she really can't apply pressure, and I want to use Yamcha to keep just going wide. The whole point of the deck is to go as wide as possible and get as many attacks through.
Nice. That makes sense.
Yeah. For the other counterplay, we play 2 Resolve Renewed.
That's great.
That just deals with the floodgates, because floodgates are going to hurt this deck a lot.
Yeah.
So I really not much to say about him.
Nope.
For our super combo though, I play 4 copies of Krillin, Dearest Friend. He's live turn 1, because I have a Unison in play. It's pretty much a no-brainer.
Oh.
So yeah, so I get a live super combo right away.
Very nice.
But he combos really well with Bulma, the bunny girl, as well. I run a lot of Earthlings, like the blocker Trunks, and this Pan here. So it's going to be able to trigger Bulma when I block with them and they get KO'd. So then Bulma will come into play and recycle my super combo again.
Oh, you just summon him back?
Yeah, you just keep bringing the super combo back.
That's crazy.
It's really good.
That's a wild interaction.
Yeah. Another alternate awakening, just in case. We run 2 copies of Intensifying Power Trunks.
Nice.
It also just applies really good crit pressure.
Yeah.
We run a couple 1-ofs. Actually run a lot of 1-ofs.
Sauce.
Surprise attack Ssb Vegeta.
Okay.
That guy comes in for free when I activate a Spirit Boost skill. So just by playing Pan, he's going to come into play for free. And he's just really good, 15k crit. Super powerful.
Yeah.
Applies a lot more pressure. We got 1 King Piccolo, new ruler.
Of course.
Obviously, it's a red deck. You gotta play it. We got 1 Further Destruction Champa. Same thing. Red deck. You want to keep going with that. We got 1 Overwhelm card.
Nice.
Super Saiyan 3 Son Goku Man on a Mission. Same thing. Just free. Double Strike critical. It's really powerful.
Yeah.
And then this is my Super Spice here. I actually really enjoy this card. But
Fearless
1
Pan.
copy. We go super wide. So it's really strong to have that in play.
Yeah.
Get everything, give double strike and plus 5k, especially with all these crit attackers. It's really strong.
Yeah. Nice.
We got some extra stuff now. 1 copy of Testing the Op.
Okay.
Didn't really use it all too often, but it was nice to have every once in a while. I got boarded out often. This card is the best card in the deck though. 2 copies of Difference of Status.
This card's really good in this deck.
Yeah, the Unison has so many markers, so you just Spirit Boost away. That also triggers that Vegeta too, which is really cool. I was able to clear out a lot of different threats. I was able to deal with even Unisons, leader cards, everything.
Very nice.
Just applied a lot of pressure to my opponents. Had to make them have to think about their plays a little bit more.
Exactly, and it's free.
And it's free, completely free. We run 2 copies of Wolfang Fist. Talk about free. That's another free card.
Nice.
Just pretty much a no-brainer. 15Ks, just deals with them. Weakens my opponent's big bosses, so it made it a little bit easier to manage these big swings.
Yeah.
1 copy of Strategies Universe 7.
Okay.
With running a lot of Saiyans, it helped out a lot, making sure I can set up my next turn really well.
Okay.
That's pretty much not much to explain. And then for my secret rare, I spent big money on this one.
Ooh,
but we got the
so
Ssb Vegeta. That card won me so many games yesterday. It's crazy how good that card is.
Yeah.
You apply so much pressure with your board, and then you just drop the Vegeta, and you don't have to think about it.
You don't have to think, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you just go right in.
Yeah. So how many cards total is this, do you know?
This is 53 cards total.
53, okay.
But I start with the Unison in play, so it's 52.
52, okay.
So,
yeah.
I didn't really have problems seeing cards. The deck filters so much, so I saw the one-ups when I needed to. I saw everything when I needed to. I didn't miss one drop, so it was really good. It just filtered really well.
Very nice.
You want me to go over the board too?
Yeah, we can go over the board.
Alright, so for the sideboard, we got Dark Power Black Mask Saiyan.
Love this card.
Card's great. Really good against the Trunks Vegeta matchups and the Gamma matchups as well. For other aggro matches, we got King Vegeta's Imposing Presence. Didn't use that all too much. Helped out a little bit against one of my matchups today. Ended up not winning anyway, but it's alright.
Gotcha.
2 copies of Realm of the Gods Ultra Instinct.
Okay.
That was mainly for the Sin Shenron matchup, but I didn't have to deal with that.
Nice.
This card's really good. King Vegeta, Hidden Ambitions.
Oh, I love this card.
Yeah, this did really well against green decks that played Dormant and stuff like that.
My round 1, because I was playing U7, I Hidden Ambition my opponent's Dormant and I just killed him.
Yeah, that's a huge blowout. Huge blowout.
Yeah.
We got 2 copies of Violent Rays.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, you don't really have to play much for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got an extra copy of Strategies for certain matchups, like Cell, anything that really targeted my battle cards to try to clear out my board.
It's good against the Boo Unison also.
Absolutely, because they can't touch my Saiyans.
Yeah.
We got 2 copies of Burly Crown. That was mainly for the Gamma matchup. Came in use a little bit from time to time. And then we got 2 copies of Ssb Kaioken Son Goku.
Nice.
Just deals with good barrier threats.
Yeah, it's good against Trunks Vegeta.
Absolutely, because they got a lot of barrier cards. So.
Alright, cool man. Well, thank you so much for the profile. Congratulations again on the top.
Thank you.
Yeah, and this is El Topo Loco signing out. We'll see you guys next time.